The strangest cases of mysterious vanishings. Lost forever, they vanish like whispers in the night. Souls erased from existence without warning, without reason. The fabric of reality itself seems to tear open and swallow them whole, leaving nothing but hollow questions and the maddening silence of the void. Welcome to Lost Forever. These aren't mere tales to entertain your morbid curiosity. These are the fates of real flesh and blood, individuals who step beyond the veil of our comprehension and into nothingness. The vast straight waters hold their secrets tightly. On October 21st, 1978, young Frederick Valentich piloted his small aircraft through the darkening Australian sky. His final transmission still chills the blood of those who hear it. "It's hovering," he whispered, voice trembling. "It's not an aircraft." Then came the metallic scraping, a sound no investigation has ever explained, before eternal silence claimed him. No wreckage, no body, as if the very sky had devoured him whole, leaving not even bone or metal as evidence of his existence. Was he stolen by forces beyond our comprehension? Or did the vast emptiness of our universe simply decide he no longer belonged among us? Before modern record-keeping, before we believed ourselves masters of this world, an entire colony of souls was erased from history's pages. Roanoke, 1590. Governor John White returned to find 115 men, women, and children vanished. Homes stood empty, meals abandoned mid-preparation. The only whisper from beyond, a single word carved with desperate hands, Croatoan. The forest swallowed 115 beating hearts without leaving a single body, a single drop of blood. Did they walk willingly into oblivion? Were they taken? Or did they discover something in those ancient woods that mankind was never meant to know? The cameras watched Brian Schaffer enter the ugly Tuna Saloona on April 1st, 2006. They recorded every face that departed, except his. In a building with monitored exits surrounded by witnesses, a man of flesh and blood dissolved into thin air. The laws of physics themselves seemed suspended in this nightmare. Those same security eyes that tracked his entrance failed to witness his departure, as if he stepped sideways out of reality itself. His bank accounts lie dormant, his phone silent. His father died still searching for a son who walked into a bar and out of existence. Perhaps most terrifying is how even in our age of satellites and surveillance, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 vanished with 239 souls aboard. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Final words before the massive metal vessel and all its occupants were swallowed by the hungry darkness of the Indian Ocean. Years of searching, millions spent, technologies deployed that can find a coin on the ocean floor. Yet this massive craft remains hidden, as if it slipped between the cracks of our reality. Perhaps what truly haunts us is knowing that even now, in our world of constant connection, we can still be erased without witness. These are not merely missing persons. They are gaps in the fabric of our understanding, reminders that our grasp on this world is tenuous at best. For every explanation we create to comfort ourselves, the darkness whispers another possibility, one we dare not speak aloud. What force takes people so completely? What power erases existence without trace? We tell ourselves comforting lies, that they chose to disappear, that natural forces claim them, that human malice is to blame. But in the darkest hours when sleep eludes us, we know the truth. Some things vanish because they must, because something waits beyond the edge of our perception, patient and hungry. The lost are forever lost, and we who remain can only press our faces against the glass of reality, straining to glimpse what lies beyond, knowing that one day we too might step outside our door and never return. For the boundary between being and nothingness is far thinner than we dare admit. Remember their names: Frederick Valentich, the colonists of Roanoke; Brian Schaffer, the souls aboard Flight 370. Not because we might find them, but because tomorrow it could be your name that joins this terrible litany. This has been Lost Forever. Sleep well, knowing that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, and some who vanish were never meant to be found. In the stillness between heartbeats, people cease to exist. Here one moment, gone the next. No goodbye, no warning. Only absence where presence once dwelled. The wilderness holds its trophies close. Consider the case of Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old boy who vanished in the Great Smoky Mountains in 1969. Playing hide-and-seek with family, he darted behind a bush and stepped out of our world forever. Hundreds searched. Tracking dogs fell silent. Even the FBI found nothing but whispers in the ancient forest. What force can take a child in mere seconds, within earshot of his father? The mountains know, but they do not speak our language. The sea, too, collects its mysterious tributes. The Mary Celeste, discovered adrift in 1872, tables set for a meal never eaten, navigational equipment intact. 9 souls vanished from the vessel without taking their coats despite the December chill. The lifeboat was still secured to the ship. The crew stepped away from existence itself, leaving half-finished cups of tea to grow cold. Did they voluntarily walk into the Atlantic's embrace? Or were they taken by something that left no scratch, no sign of struggle? Consider the Island Moore Lighthouse in December 1900. 3 keepers, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur, maintaining their lonely vigil on a remote Scottish isle. When relief arrived, they found an untouched meal, a toppled chair, stopped clocks, and no trace of the men. The logbook's final entry: storm ended, sea calm. God is over all. What horror befell these experienced keepers that could remove them simultaneously without struggle? What did they see coming across those calm waters that made them abandon their post against all protocol? The Yuba County Five, 5 young men who vanished after a basketball game in 1978, only to be found months later scattered across the snowy wilderness, miles from their abandoned car. Why would these 5 friends, one with cognitive disabilities and all underdressed for winter, trek into a snowstorm rather than remain in their functional vehicle with its heater and radio? What terror could drive them to certain death in frozen mountains rather than remain where they were? Most disturbing of all, one had survived for weeks in a forest ranger's cabin, surrounded by food he never ate, with a heating system he never used, before finally succumbing to starvation. Cities, too, have their hunting grounds. Tara Calico, 19, vanished while cycling in New Mexico in 1988. Months later, a Polaroid photograph surfaced in a Florida parking lot, showing a young woman and boy bound with duct tape, terror in their eyes. Her mother recognized Tara's distinctive scar. The boy remains unidentified. The photo, a window into a nightmare that continues to this day. What shadow world exists parallel to our own where the missing still breathe but cannot return? Perhaps most unsettling are those who vanish in plain sight. Like Lars Midonk, the German tourist caught on security cameras in 2014, fleeing from nothing through a Bulgarian airport, abandoning his luggage and sprinting into the surrounding fields. The cameras show a man running from invisible pursuers, glancing back in pure terror at entities only he could see. He has never been found. What did Lars see that day that was worse than abandoning his entire existence? Some vanishings defy the very laws we believe govern our reality. The Anjikuni village, an entire Inuit settlement of 2,000 people, discovered abandoned in 1930 by fur trapper Joe LaBelle. Meals still cooking over fires, rifles still standing by doors, graves exhumed from within. Not a single footprint leading away from the village in the fresh snow. An entire community didn't just disappear, they were extracted from existence itself, as if by some cosmic hand that found them wanting. We tell ourselves comforting fables, that these people simply walked away from their lives, that natural disasters claimed them, that human predators found them. But the truth whispers in the corners of our minds when darkness falls. Some places in this world are thin, where the membrane between is and isn't, between here and elsewhere, wears transparent. The disappeared leave behind more than empty rooms and cold dinner plates. They leave questions that scrape at the foundations of our understanding. If a child can vanish while playing, if adults can be plucked from vessels at sea, if entire communities can dissolve into nothing, what assurance do any of us have that we are anchored firmly to this world? Tonight, as you walk familiar hallways to familiar rooms, remember, some never completed that journey. And perhaps in the space between your footsteps, something listens, waiting for its moment to add your name to the litany of the lost. Sweet dreams.